I will remember you. Will you remember me? Sorry, I was just... I was just getting emotional over... memories. Anyway, hey guys, this is IX RolloutIX with the Rollout Reviews doing another Bionicle Let's Build. Up next, it's Storm Beast. So, I've got Kopaka here for the opening shot, but let's set him aside and take a look at the box here. Storm Beast is very interesting. He's got one of the coolest functions I've seen in Bionicle, like, period. It's very interesting, almost like a marionette in some ways. You move the tail, it moves the arms around, and he slashes. Kinda cool. You got the combiner back here, of course, and a comic here, very similar to the ones we saw on the last couple. But yeah, there you go. You got Kopaka in the background here, kind of just depressingly, lifelessly looking off into the distance. Oh well. Anyway, let's lighten up the mood by opening this guy up. Where is my knife? There it is. Sorry, I bumped the camera there, but moving swiftly along. It's kind of bent up here, but that doesn't matter. Anyway. Inside, of course, we have several bags. I'm not sure what I expected. So, one bag of parts here. Very brightly colored chest piece, I can see right off the bat, but let's set the instructions off to the side for just a moment while I rip this open. Okay. And the second bag. Like usual, there's also a tiny little bag inside here with itsy bitsy parts. Alright, one more. And now, let's bring the camera down just a wee bit to see that nice pile of parts here. So, like the previous beast, as well as the next beast, I like to think of these beasts as having multiple elements. In this case, ice and water, like lava beasts, stone and fire. So, he's obviously sort of in the tundra here, but he's got a lot of shades of blue, aside from just kind of the icy looking one. So, I don't know, that's just how I'm considering it so far. Let's take a look at the instructions. You got your little man sorting them out. We might have problems with that this time around, for obvious reasons. You got his grabby claws there. Let's see how many pages the instructions go on for. 38, including a parts inventory, the comic, the poster, and the combiner there. So, nothing too surprising here, but I am going to try my best to sort these parts out. I'm going to bring the camera up, and we'll come back once I've figured something out. I think I found a solution. I don't need no tackle boxes. I got Tupperware. I'm a Tupperware wizard. And honestly, this is probably a better system than the tackle box ever was anyway. Like, I can have the instructions directly in the middle, and the parts around the instructions. They're also in their own little separate containers that I can move around if I want to. Like, why didn't I just do this from the start? If nothing else, it would have saved me some physical and emotional pain, but whatever. I'm over it. Mostly. Anyway, before we start building this guy, I do want to take a look at some of the more interesting and maybe new parts. First, we have the Crystal Molar armor piece in trans light blue. This is also in the Akimu set, but this is the first time I'm seeing it here. You also have the trans lime green skull spider legs and the trans lime green headpiece. Here is the Beast Mask of Corruption in some new colors, in some dark blue with trans lime green at the top. Looks pretty good, actually. You also have these shell pieces, which I think are new in this color. Like, obviously, this is a very old CCBS part. It's just a standard shell, but I think they're new in this dark blue color. I could be wrong. You also have a printed chest piece here, which is kind of generic. I don't know. It's just like blue rocks. What is that supposed to be? Very similar to Lava Beast. It does sort of look like eyes. So again, you could sort of use that in a mock, using that to your advantage. And then you also have a corrupted Kopaka mask. Again, it's the colored version instead of the golden mask. It's also got, you know, the trans light green towards the top, trans neon green rather. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't come with a little stud for the eye. So if you want to add like a trans lime green stud on there, you know, feel free. Some, you know, standard Technic pieces up here. You got some beams, some pins and axles down there. Feet, the jaw piece here, and some shadow trap sections in this one over here, and then just some standard CCBS parts in this one. With all of that out of the way, I guess we should turn to page 1 and get started. So I'm just going to move these off to the side so they're just kind of, well, on the sidelines, as the instructions here are the main focus. We're going to start with this, and actually I'm going to flip those around here so I have easier access to this one here. This is already paying off pretty well. Again, it just kind of makes sense. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. It also allows you, you know, a much more visible look at the instructions, which is good from a viewer standpoint, I suppose, although my arms are going to be in the way more often than not, but you can sort of see what I can see, so if my arms are in the way for you, they're probably in the way for me too. So far, nothing exciting has happened, just sort of the setup, but hopefully that changes soon. On to page, well, technically 4, I suppose. All right. Maybe the system isn't flawless. Things are kind of getting in the way. My lights are sort of getting in the way. Maybe I can move those just a little bit. There's definitely more things in front of me, but the ability to kind of move the storage sections around is something that I couldn't do with the tackle box, and I think it's definitely beneficial in this case here. So, 1, 2, step 3. I need one of these. That goes in there. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Right there. That's her. Don't believe me? Too bad. If you couldn't tell, I'm kind of in a weird mood. This is the last Let's Build I plan on filming today, so keep that in mind. That's where my mental state is at, especially after that trauma in the last Let's Build. Don't cry for me. I'm okay. All right, so this is actually kind of interesting. Those plug on there, and you just kind of have this free spinning little axle there. Let's see if I can get more light in on that. Maybe I should bring these up top here, like this, and then bring those up like that. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, that actually isn't too bad. I have more room with my arms now. So, do the same thing on the other side. Where did that go? Give me that up front here. So yeah, you kind of got these very free spinning axles where the arms will connect. Like I said, this guy just has such a cool gimmick. He's the most inspired of the 3 beasts. I feel like Lava Beast is the least inspired, but looks very cool. This guy, I'm not sure if I like the way he looks, but I'll cast judgment once I have him put together. These things tend to look a whole lot better in person, I find. So maybe that'll be the case here. All right, next, need these Hordeca necks. And I need some of these. Another benefit, well, beneficial for you, not quite for me, is you get to see exactly what the next step is, and if I go wrong, you get to see me go wrong. And then you get to shake your head and yell at me from across the internet, and it's fun. It's fun. Well, for you. I'm the one getting yelled at. Presumably. This... Wait a minute. What? What's going on here? Oh. Yep. That's a prime example. That is a prime example of exactly what I was talking about. No, you did it wrong, stupid. Oh, well. Although... Now what's happening here? Oh, God. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man. There we go. That's what we want. And now I need Bohrok Eye. Do all three of... Yeah, all three of the beasts have Bohrok Eyes on them. G2 Bohrok confirmed, am I right? Is this... Did I do it right? Yeah, okay, I did. Good. I thought for a second I did that wrong. Let's make sure to follow the instructions more closely this time. That goes there. Gimme. All right. That goes there. Don't know what I was doing before. I think I like started with this piece here for some reason, which probably wasn't a good idea. Every once in a while, I gotta kind of readjust things to make sure you can see the parts. That is, if you want to see the parts. Do you want to see the parts? I don't know. Do you care about that kind of thing? I think probably most people will just want to see the build itself and don't really care where the parts come from, but I don't know. I kind of like showcasing the whole experience if I can. I think I may have messed up again. Yeah, this goes the other way. Not too bad. But these pieces are super loosey-goosey, which is actually exactly what we want. So, we actually set this whole thing off to the side, and now we start working on... What do I need? What do I need? I need one of these. And I take these little pieces and just ever so slightly push those in. There we go. Just like that. And then I need a Glatorian neck. It goes on just like that. Very cool. Okay. It's the simple things that get me. But I did it wrong. So, you know, that just goes to show how easily amused I am. Yeah, okay. Those are pretty tightly in there. A lot of friction going on, but let's move on. This slides in there. And now I need one of these if I can grab a hold with my wounded thumb. I'm also realizing that this is going to be going up very closely to a beat 'em on Let's Build where I I cut myself. Like, this is going up a few days afterwards. And I filmed that a long time ago, and I've since then healed from that. But from the perspective of the viewer, it's gonna be like, I cut myself, and then I healed, and then I cut myself again, which is kind of funny. I don't know how to feel about that, but oh well. I am a victim. I'm a victim of my own recklessness. Okay. So that goes in there like that. And this actually just plugs on here. And that slides in there. And then this is where the magic happens. These pieces snap on there. And there, like that, and you do the same thing on this side, and then when you move Stormbeast's tail, it'll swing his arms around and he'll slash with his claws. We'll see how well it works when it's all together, but that is the base mechanism. That is really, really cool. I really, really like that a lot. It could be kind of a fiddly mess once it's all together, so I won't hold my breath. But right now, I like the concept at least. So, I need a 3 long actually. And kind of similar to Lava Beast, you just have a very simple heel support here. Goes through like that. However, he has much larger feet, so I'm not entirely sure if he needs it or not, although he is quite back heavy, I imagine, with his gigantic tail. So, I don't know, maybe he does need it. It does look like his legs are the same, so I'm going to build 2 at a time here. So, next we need some Glatorian necks. Those go on there like that. Then get these two longs here. I do kind of wonder why they stopped making black 2 long axles. Like, is red cheaper to produce? Maybe. Seems like you'd need like more dye or something. I don't know, maybe that's completely wrong. I don't really know how toy manufacturing works. I just talk about toys and criticize them. I don't need to know how they work. What do I look like? Some kind of engineer? Kind of doing this in a weird way, but it's working. At least I think it's working. Could be doing this completely wrong. I hope not. Okay. Now, upper legs, very simple. And friction extenders. We're actually getting into the CCBS portion. The majority of the body seems like it's built out of like Technics, so we haven't really even touched our little CCBS pile until now. Until the legs, at least. And then you got these. And I think those are the legs. Yeah, very, very simple legs. You know, like technically they're custom, but they are deceptively simple. I don't know, they're still kind of cool, actually. Of course, bestial legs, that makes sense. So there we go. Now we set him off to the side, and I think we're going to be building the tail next. So he's got this kind of chompy chomp at the end of his tail. That goes in there like that. Very simple, actually, this whole section. Just goes like that, and it goes like that. You can open and close and grab onto masks, and it will attach to the rest of the tail here. And then this actually, well, actually just attaches here. The tail was a whole lot more simple than I thought it was. So yeah, he's got this chompy chomp tail. Kind of a cool idea. And then, again, that will move the arms around. Bring my lights up just a little bit here. Hopefully I can get more light on the subject. Did that do anything? I don't know. Probably not. It's the thought that counts, though. Chest piece goes on like so. Set that back off to the side. And now we'll build his claws, which are made out of feet. He got feet claws. I'll build these one at a time. Now watch it say ×2. Probably won't. They're mirror imaged, but can you imagine? It always seems to happen that way. I'm going to do it the way I think the instructions are going to tell me to, and then the instructions don't do it the way I think it's going to. What is my life? Okay. So, grabby claws away. There you go. He does kind of have these exposed ball sockets at the top there, which kind of looks ugly. But otherwise, well, that fell off. Maybe that's a problem. But yeah, little grabby claws, little slashy claws. Actually, I'm not done with you. Attach that there. And then attach this here. Like that. And there are the arms. Or unarm. I'm actually going to just set that over there and build the second one before I attach them both to Stormbeast here. Ah, yes, of course. Just as I expected. It's all part of the plan. Come on. There we go. Pretty simple, actually. Kind of just like the legs. Like, it looks complex because it's custom, but really it's very simple. These hands. Last little claw here. We're actually almost done. That went pretty well, I think. Although maybe I'm jumping the gun. Maybe a car will crash into my wall or something. Anything could happen. I'm ready for disaster. Okay, so, does it matter? Again, I always wonder if it matters which way it goes. If it's symmetrical this way and this way, but oh well. I'll figure out later, I suppose. But there you have the arms. And after this, all we gotta do is build the head. So it goes there and there. Of course, I'll show off the gimmick a little bit better in the final thoughts towards the end of this video, but sit tight. We got more to build here. Don't really know what's going on here, actually. Oh, is this the jaw? Yeah, of course. This is the jaw. Oh, and hey, this is empty. So let's stack them like that. Set that off to the side. Good to go. The further I get into the build, you know, the more clean the area gets, I suppose, as I can start stacking these on top of each other. Although, I suppose with the way I have things set up here, you got a lot of the containers here with not very many pieces. So maybe I should sort them differently next time. Or maybe I should just ignore that advice. But we are definitely in the home stretch. So that goes there. jaw piece goes here. Is that empty? Yes, it is. Oh, look at that. That's neat. That's tidy. I'm happy with that. And then it's got a very long neck, very simple neck. And then the mask attaches like that. There is Storm Beast. So let's get the instructions out of the way here. Yeah, I can throw those on the floor. They won't shred my foot. It's always fun when you're literally almost done filming a segment, and then the neighbor across the street interrupts you by taking down their very loud rolling trash can. Ah, well. All I was going to say is that I sure hope nobody's watching this video before the Lava Beast Let's Build, because I'm sure that's very confusing. Oh yeah, and for those who care, I forgot to show off the extra parts, so there are those. Nothing special. With that said, let's wrap things up with a few final thoughts and a couple of comparisons. First, we'll turn this guy around, see him from all angles. The look is definitely growing on me. Some people will think the bright color scheme looks a little bit silly, but I kind of think it makes him look poisonous in some ways. I definitely like his look much better from the front, of course. He's a bit busy towards the back here, quite cluttered, but I guess that's necessary to facilitate the function. Speaking of which, it's very cool, it's very unique, but it's also really difficult to get the hang of. When you start playing with this thing, you kind of have no idea what you're doing, but if you sort of twist it in this very natural circular motion, you kind of get this motion here, which, if you do it right, ends up looking very organic. Which is kind of cool. You have him slashing with one arm, slashing with the other arm, slashing with both arms. You can do some very interesting things, and it looks very cool. But you kind of just need to get used to it. You kind of need to know how to operate it beforehand, or else it's a little bit overwhelming in some ways. But yeah. It's also kind of under the jurisdiction of gravity, so sometimes you want to get this guy into certain poses, and the tail's too heavy or the arms are too heavy, and you get something like that going on, where it just sort of all collapses, and you're like, oh no, what do I do? But it's not too bad, and I think it's well worth it. So, let's compare this guy to some Toa. First, with a smaller Toa, let's put him up next to Gali. Granted, she is, I think, the tallest of the $15 Uniter sets, so take that as you will. And then, finally, let's bring our main man Kopaka back into the situation and compare him with one of the larger Toa. And once again, once the larger Toa comes into frame and sort of dwarfs this guy, he's a little less intimidating, but the very wide stance and the sharp-looking claws do still make this guy look pretty intimidating overall, I think. Of course, he also holds Kopaka's corrupted mask in his tail here. You can just open that up, and let's see what that looks like on Kopaka himself. You know, it's missing the lens there on the eye, but even then, I'm still not a huge fan of the look. These corrupted masks look a whole lot better in the hands of the beasts than they do on the Toa. But that is about it, guys, and this is IX Rollout IX, signing off.